All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for bringing some energy. We're excited. I am Jay Bassell. I'm the marketing director at Equipment Zone. To my left is Dan Short. He is the chief ginger creative at Dan Short Designs. He's not a leprechaun. He is real. And he is my pot of gold. And I am so glad that he is here. We do look a little bit like brothers, but we're not. Ginger's from another mother. The reality is you two sat down, Tammy and Brandy, because you were like, oh, that looks so cool. And you were the perfect starting point for this discussion. I'm going to talk to Dan a little bit, but you might have questions too, so I can take these questions live if you want. But we're talking specifically about DTG printing and Dan's experience. But we're open to letting the conversation wander a little bit. And I want to answer your question first. So the cinch sacks that you were bragging about are from Sanmar. Thanks, Sanmar. And they are what we call a faux hoodie cinch sack. And we love them because you love them. And you like, people see them and they're like, oh my God, these are the coolest things ever. You can screen print them, direct to film, DTG, whatever your process is. Some people will do embroidery and whatnot, but we tend to do DT film on it, direct to film transfers, and all of that goodness. So thank you for coming by. You're welcome to take the samples, and we've got some other goodies here for you. But Dan, this is really about you, brother. This isn't about me or the cinch sacks. Dan has joined us because he has been a longtime customer of ours. He's been in business for about, we discovered, 10-ish years in print. And I'm going to let him talk. He's going to have the mic too. But today's session is how I make money with my DTG printer. How I make money with my DTG printer. Are you comfortable with that topic?
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, I'm going to give it up to you, and then I'll be sitting down here. No, I'm kidding.
That's fine.
Dan, tell us a little bit about you. Give us a little story. How'd you get here?
Drove in from Phoenix. I'm going to tell you what, 6 o'clock this morning. I actually I've been in commercial and digital print for years. I've been in graphics for 25 years. And then I actually got started into this because of laser. Started off doing laser work, then we did some, we were the only ones in the world we were actually doing custom vape mods for sublimation. And we were the only ones in the world doing it, and then that transformed into getting connections to people and people wanting shirts. So I got into a little bit of HTV, and let me tell you, it's, I don't have the patience for that at all. I can't sit there and weed. She does. Well, she's got patience. I don't.
Not right now. I'm hungry.
And so that transitioned into, I had one of our good customers like, hey, can we do full color? Can we do it on black? I'm like, not really. So then I researched and ended up at Equipment Zone, which is in my backyard, thankfully. And the rest is history from there. Being in print, I've already got the background, and it's just how are we going to apply this to a t-shirt now? And then how are we going to apply this to a t-shirt and then make some money? Most people will transition with, hey, I own an apparel company, and I've got a customer base, and I'm going to order, I'm going to apply it to that and offer something else to my customers. I kind of went backwards. I'm like, let's buy a printer and then figure out how we're going to make money off this thing. So
Dan said, let's go backwards and then we'll figure out how to make money with this thing. I love the fact that you did a ton of research, Dan, and I know you are kind of an attention to detail kind of freak, the beard. And the beard's a mess. That was a joke, Dan. That was what I said.
all right.
And stay with me. We're going to do this together. But the truth is that you are the type of person who studies something out. You did your research, you went online, you looked at lots of different models, you ended up on an Epson printer. Tell us a little bit about that journey and why Epson.
Yes, I do over-research everything. My laser took me like 3 months to figure out what to buy. During the shirt and the DTG movement in printer, my biggest thing was because I was going backwards, I'm going to buy a printer, and I don't have anybody to sell shirts to. I got one guy. So beyond that, it's, I was reading all the horror stories of, you got to run it every day, you got to do this, you have to do that. And I'm like, right now I'm not going to run it every day. And I don't want to turn it on and waste ink or do this or do that, especially if I have other stuff to do, and waste money. And then I came upon the Epson. So it's like, oh, you can turn it off for up to 2 weeks, which you can. And that was really the selling point on it. From then, we had to go and figure out, all right, well, where am I going to buy this from? Because you can buy an Epson printer anywhere. They're all going to be the same price. Everybody has the same promos. Everybody has the same rebates. It's standardized. And that was another week's worth of where am I going to buy this thing from? Or at least go and see it. And two things came there with Equipment Zone. One, I'm like, oh, wow, they're cool. They're here in Arizona. And the other thing was everybody raves about the training. And with me, it's like I've got the background in print, and we talked about this earlier. I've got the background in print, and I've got everything like that. Like, it can't be too hard. Put a shirt in, press a button, go. Especially with the graphics background and stuff like that. But there's, well, not quite. That's why I had to get training. And that's really what it was now. But I had a full day of in person, and I really, I came out of that knowing what I know of the print world, and I knew how to apply it to a t-shirt. And it's absolutely fantastic. And I see so many out there, people asking questions out there now. I'm a big social media guy. That I often wonder when they bought this machine, was it just like, here, I'll take your money and your printer arrives? So that's the journey and why I got the Epson. Sorry, I go on tangents sometimes. Because of the maintenance on it, I can leave it off. And now it's I think this is probably the first couple of days it's been off in a long time. So. Just over 4 years. So, and that printer is bulletproof. Epson came out for the first time like 2 months ago. First time I've ever had anything wrong with it. Oh no, we got everything replaced on there. But beyond that, it's 4 years straight. I mean, it's just worked. Every time, every day.